What's up? Krugs uploaded a reaction to Michael Vey 4, so I'm going to react to his reaction because I there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about with the series, but I just haven't really gotten a chance to. So yeah, let's jam.
The music choice, goddamn.
Zelda music is undefeated. That's all I'm gonna say. Nintendo knows what they're doing when they make their soundtracks. The Electro Clan arrives at Timepiece.
What is that transition noise?
Fun little stainless lore. One of the things I always struggle with when I'm editing these videos is finding a good transition sound effect. For some reason, my brain just doesn't think in the way of like, oh, this would be a good one. So I just have to sit there for like 30 minutes and try to find something. But this one was an extra challenge because in any of the previous three parts, it was just like, okay, you're only going to hear the transition sound effect 4 times because there's 4 parts. So when you get to this one that has 11, I was like, okay, the transition sound effect needs to be really good because you're going to be hearing it 11 times. So I kind of got the idea of it needs to be something different, probably, or you're going to get sick of hearing the same sound effect 11 times. The company started
What is
as
this
a kind of
drawing?
electric therapy. If you can't tell by this point in the series, I'm very tired of the book just constantly introducing all these like military men, and it's just like feels like one after another of like, oh, but this guy is really strong or whatever. So I'm just coming up with ways to entertain myself with like super muscular body and then just little guy. Man watched Attack on Titan
What do you
once and
mean
was never the
declares
same.
genocide?
Hatch's plan is to yeah, declares probably wasn't the best word for that, but by this point, as I was writing the script for this, I was just so baffled that I was like, oh my god, this is what we're doing. This is where the book is going. Say what you will about Michael Vey having some pretty choppy writing at points. It never fails to surprise. Say what you want about Richard Paul Evans being a not great writer and a not great person, but the things he pulls out of his ass to put in these books, that man's psychology needs to be studied.
Genocide plus creating a master race. Thank you, Mr. Hatch. Thank you.
First, what did I just say? It's like he doubles down on it as if it wasn't bad enough that he Hatch is going to exterminate 7 billion people. He's also going to create a master race and then enslave the remaining 1 billion people. It's just like, holy fuck. What am I reading? I'd also like to highlight that uh when we were just like shooting the shit in the group chat and talking about the book, we found out that this book is like targeted towards like 11 and 12-year-olds. Could you imagine? Imagine being the parent of a preteen and you you go and ask, "Oh, little Timmy, what are you reading about?" "Oh, just genocide." It's like, what? Hatch is in his room relaxing when he gets a knock at the door.
His
Michelle
favorite
is a
anime.
trade. I love that. The I've kind of set up a canon for this that Hatch just watched Attack on Titan and it was like, that's what I need to do. That is my mission in life. I need to take after Eren Yeager and just commit horrors beyond anything imaginable.
Well, that was quick.
Taylor
Okay.
wakes up in a cell. Okay, this is my problem with part 4, and I've started reading part 5, so this applies to part 5 too. there are so many parts, and there are a lot of them that are just really short. So it's like I get why it was written to be 11 parts. It's like there's a lot of different things happening at the same time. So each one is so different from the other that it makes sense for it to be its own part. Like if you were to jump from the Electro Clan to Schema to the Elgin back to the Electro Clan all in the same part, like that would be pretty rough, right? So I get why it's different parts, but it makes it so annoying for when I'm recording this to just be like, okay, 3 sentences, part one is done. 2 sentences, part two is done. And every time I go to a new part, I've got to like dig through my Photoshop layers and get the right characters on screen, get the setting. If there's any stuff like I need the prison bars up, or if I need objects on the thing, I gotta go and get those. And it's like, man, it's just an inconvenience, and I'm just a little baby, so I like to complain a lot.
He just gets tortured. No like long-lasting psychological effects from that. Nope. He's fine. He's chilling. Just get tortured sometimes.
I think Michael Vey is like 15. I don't remember exactly how old the book says he is, but he's around the age range of 15. And it's like, this poor bastard has been through so much shit. And he can't even, like, legally drive yet. You are not even old enough to do anything, really. And you're getting tortured by a ninja. Once they free.
Wait, but it's Nichelle, not Michelle. What? Wacky name.
I don't know. There's just a lot of shit with Nichelle that I have not included in my videos because I just don't want to deal with it. Like, for example, in part four, to distract one of the guards, she like tries to seduce him. I don't remember if Nichelle is supposed to be an adult or not, but I want to say she's not. I just don't really know why you would write that into the book, where most of the main cast is minors. Maybe Nichelle is not a minor. I don't know, but this is, oh man. Richard Ball Evans, you have such a way with words.
I think this is pretty good. I think this is pretty good.
I trace the stuff for, like, when I have these anime scenes, like doing the hollow purple here, or when Wade died in part three, and I made Jack like the Joseph Joestar thing. It's like I just trace it, but it still takes a long time. And I am not an artist by any means. I have never even been remotely close to an artist. So, like, tracing is the only way I can make it look even remotely close to good. With and the big electric attack thing. I didn't write anything in my script. I was like, okay, I made a note. Whenever I do these little anime things, I just make a note of like, draw thing here. So in my script, I have a note that's just like, have the I am become death, followed by the imaginary technique. But I never wrote down like imaginary technique name of attack. So I got to record and I realized that. And I was like, okay, I'll just make something up. I'm going to come up with something so clever, so funny, and so witty. And my brain was just like, big electric attack. That's all we've got.
Learning about landmines. I did not think that this would be where I learned about landmines.
Yeah, me neither. Uh, I made the very shortened version, believe it or not. The book spends a good amount of time just talking about landmines and like the different versions of landmines. And they have Ian like look through the ground and describe what the landmines look like to Austin, and Austin just knows everything. So whenever the Electro Clan like faces a situation that's, oh, we need to get through this landmine, Austin's just like, I actually know about every type of landmine and how to set this specific type of landmine off in such a way that it solves the current situation. And whatever. It's just one of the things you kind of learn to accept and deal with when you're reading the Michael Vey series. The group attacks from behind and
Okay, I
rescues
guess.
Jade Dragon. They go back. Yeah, okay, I guess is just kind of the quote for the entire like last act of Michael Vey 4. It it kind of happened with Battle of the Ampere too. It's so much hyping up to the one thing. Like Battle of Ampere was just they're running through the jungle, they're trying to reunite with the rest of the Electro clan, but there's so much hyping up and preparation for the thing. And then the thing of that book happens, and it happens in like 4 pages. You go through at least 200 pages of buildup, and then like they get on the Ampere, and the Battle of the Ampere is resolved within, I think, maybe 10 pages. It's so quick and just over. And it happens again in this book where, where they spend all this time like, oh man, how are we going to attack the Star Source plant? How are we going to, get out of the Star Source plant without even rescuing Jade Dragon? Then they just go and rescue Jade Dragon, and it's so easy. It's like they figure out the decoys. They just go and get her off screen. That, if I'm remembering this right, I could be remembering it wrong, to be entirely fair, but the group splits up. So it's like Michael and I don't know, a few others, and then I think like Zeus and the rest of the team go to actually rescue Jade Dragon. They just get her and get back, but the perspective stays with Michael. So it's like they're just sitting there waiting for Jade Dragon to return. And it's over off screen. I don't know. Maybe I'm just complaining over nothing. That's my takeaways from it, at least. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching my video. I'm going to go keep reading part 5 now. Goodbye.